Have you ever been wildly successful at something but still felt like you were failing? Because that was me. I have nearly 20 million video views on YouTube. I had a channel that women genuinely loved. I had comments flooding in my comment section every single week. And all at the same time, I was sitting there wondering why none of that was translating into real, consistent, sustainable income. That disconnect, it changed everything I thought I knew about building a business online. By the end of this video, I'm going to share something that I learned about garnering nearly 20 million video views so that you don't have to earn 20 million of them before you figure it out. And stick around because the shift that I'm going to share at the very end is the reason I'm able to generate $2,000 from one single conversation. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been rocking with me for a while, welcome back. My name is Nick Scott and I help women turn their existing skills into high-ticket coaching income. Not hustle till you crash income, not overbook yourself into burnout income, sustainable income that truly respects your time, your energy, and the life that you're trying to build. Now, before we get into it, I want to set the stage. My YouTube journey began in 2009. Back then, I hadn't started my career in marketing yet. I wasn't a business strategist yet. I was literally just a girl who had something worth sharing, and so I picked up a camera and I built something significant from it. But here's what nobody tells you when you're building an audience. Having people's attention and knowing what to do with that attention, those are two completely different skill sets. And I had one of those skill sets for a really long time before I developed the other. And that gap, it cost me years of income that I could have been generating. Somewhere between building an audience and figuring out how to generate real income from my own skills, there was a massive gap. And that gap is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. As many of you know, because it has not been something that I've been trying to hide, I started my channel talking about natural hair. And I know for some people that sounds really small and insignificant, but let me tell you, it was not. There was a whole community of people looking for that information. And back then, there were very few people creating it consistently. So I showed up week after week after week. I showed up. When I first started, I didn't have a ring light. I didn't have any scripts. I didn't even have a content calendar or a posting strategy. Literally, I had none of the things that people these days are telling you you need to start out. What I did have was knowledge, a camera, and a genuine desire to help people. And my channel grew in ways that I never planned or prepared for. Subscribers kept coming, my comments turned into community, and women from all over the world, they were watching me, they were learning from me, and they were trusting me with something so very personal. And the truth is, there's something very powerful about having that kind of relationship with your audience. When someone subscribes to your channel, they're not just clicking a button. They're saying,
I trust you enough that I'm going to keep showing up for you.
And that is not a small thing. Millions of people, they gave me that trust. And then I stepped away from all of it. Life happened. I went back and I got a 9-to-5 corporate job. I built a career. And this channel, it kept accumulating views long after I stopped posting. 17 years of views to be specific. And when I eventually came back to start building something for myself again, I had a whole lot that I needed to untangle. I had to figure out what I had actually built. Was I a content creator or was I a business owner? Because those two things, they're not the same thing. And until I got real honest and real with myself about the difference between those two, I kept doing what was familiar instead of what was strategic. I kept creating, but I wasn't building. And before we go any further, here's what I want you to understand about that distinction. So many women sitting on incredible expertise, they're doing the same thing. They share freely, they show up consistently, they give their best thinking for free in the comment section, they give it away in conversations, and they even give it away in conference rooms. And then they wonder why the income doesn't match the effort. If that's you, I want you to get my free business guide, 101 Coaching Ideas. It's designed to help you see just how many directions your existing skills can take you. Because most women are underestimating the true scope of what it is ideas that they have. The link for 101 coaching ideas is down in the description. Now, let me be really clear about something. 20 million views does not pay your mortgage. It doesn't create a consistent or scalable income stream. It doesn't automatically tell people how to work with you. And it definitely doesn't replace a clear, well-defined offer. And I want you to let that one percolate for a minute, because so many people feel like massive audiences and these creators with all these views, they're making all kinds of money. So many women believe if they can just build an audience big enough, the money's gonna start flowing. And sometimes it does, but most of the time it doesn't. Not without intention, not without a strategy that connects your audience to something they can actually invest in. Now, I'm getting ready to say something that might completely change the way you've been thinking about this. And you're probably not gonna like what I'm getting ready to say, but the coaching industry has convinced too many women that you have to earn your way to be taken seriously, that you need tens of thousands of followers, that you need a certain number of subscribers, that you need social proof before people will trust you enough to start paying you. And while credibility 100% matters, y'all, but what I've seen time and time again is that women wait for a platform that honestly they're never even gonna need. They delay making offers until they feel big enough. And in the meantime, the women who need what they have to offer, they're looking for what they have, but they're finding it in someone else. Because the truth nobody wants to say out loud is an audience without an offer is just a crowd. And that's what I had, a crowd, a beautiful, engaged, and loyal crowd. And it was because I hadn't built the bridge between their trust and something they could invest in. And honestly, that left an enormous amount of unrealized value, not just for me, but for my audience as well. They needed more than content, and I had more than content to give. I see this pattern happening in women who want to create coaching businesses all the time. They create, they share, they show up consistently, and then they start wondering why the clients aren't coming. What I learned from nearly 20 million YouTube video views is that visibility is the invitation. It's not the destination. Visibility without clarity is just noise. And clarity, that's what converts. The views told me I had an audience. The views did not tell me I had a business. Those are two very different things. And conflating them into one is one of the most expensive mistakes a coach can make. Expensive in time, expensive in energy, and in income you're leaving on the table every single month. Now, before we move into the lessons that actually changed everything for me, I want to make sure you have the right foundation. I created a free 5-day email course that walks you through the exact steps to start your coaching business without overwhelm. 5 days, 5 focused emails, 1 clear path forward. If you've been showing up and sharing expertise and wondering why it isn't converting into clients yet, this course was built to help you fill that exact gap. The link for the 5-day email course is down in the description, and keep watching because what I'm getting ready to share next, this is going to shift everything. Now, I just spent, 5 or 10 minutes talking about all the things that those 20 million views didn't do for me. Let's switch gears and talk about what those almost 20 million video views actually did for me. Because just like everything else in life, there is a lesson in there. And I have carried every single one of those lessons into how I have built my business today. The first lesson, people don't subscribe to content, they subscribe to transformation. Every single video on my channel that performed well had one thing in common. It solved one specific problem for one specific person. It wasn't a general overview. I was not posting videos as a form of having a broad conversation. I was giving a specific answer to something that someone was genuinely struggling with. And that right there, that's your coaching business. You're not selling your time. You're not selling your program. You're selling the answer to a problem that your client can't solve themselves. When you get clear on what's the one problem you solve and who has that problem, everything in your business starts to change. The second lesson I learned is the comment section. That right there is a business plan. I can't tell you how many times I read a comment in the comment section and thought to myself, that Comments, that right there, that is the next topic for my next video. People were literally telling me what they needed and wanted more of. They were describing their struggles, their confusion, and their questions. And every single one of those comments was a breadcrumb pointing directly towards something that I had built. And guess what? Your audience is doing the same thing for you right now. Whether it's in your comment sections, in your DMs, in conversations you're having at work, at home, or in your community, people are telling you what they need. The question is whether or not you're listening with business ears. I would bet there is somebody in your life right now who's asked you for help with something that you do effortlessly. There's a question that someone keeps asking you because they already see you as the expert. There's a problem that you've solved for yourself that other people are still sitting inside of looking for a way out. That is not coincidence. That is a calling. And when you stop treating those moments as just conversations and start treating them as data points, you'll start to see your coaching business everywhere. Your next offer, it's hiding in the questions that people keep asking you. The third lesson is consistency builds trust, and trust makes selling feel effortless. My channel grew because I showed up. My channel didn't grow because every video was perfect. It definitely didn't grow because I had a massive production budget. It grew because my audience, they knew that I was going to be there. And when people trust you, they buy from you without the need of being convinced because they've already decided. They're just sitting there waiting for you to make an offer. And this is why coaches who are struggling to sell, they almost always have skipped the trust building phase. They want to go straight to the pitch. And when you go straight to the pitch, more times than not, your audience doesn't know you well enough for you to start selling anything to them. Trust is built in the small moments. It's built when you thoughtfully respond to a comment. It's built when you show up even when you don't feel like it. Trust is built when you share something authentic and your audience feels less alone because you shared it. And these moments, they compound. And eventually, selling stops feeling like selling. It starts feeling like a natural next step in a relationship that already exists. Listen, I can't say this enough. Consistency is not a content strategy. Consistency is a relationship strategy. The fourth lesson I learned is going viral is luck and sustainable income, that's a skill. I've had videos take off in ways that I never expected. And I had videos that I was sure was going to perform well and they just sat there quietly and did nothing. You cannot build a business on luck, y'all. You cannot build a business simply waiting for the next moment to go viral. What you can build on is a repeatable offer, a clear sales conversation, and clients who get results and refer others. That's what's sustainable. That's what's scalable. And that's the true difference between a content creator and a business owner. Going viral is borrowed attention. A strong offer, though, that's owned income. So then where does that leave you? Maybe you've been creating content for a while and you're starting to wonder if it's ever going to pay off. Maybe you're not a content creator at all, but you've been sitting on skills that other people genuinely need. Maybe you've been coaching informally for years and you're finally ready to make it official and make it profitable. Or maybe you're still in your 9-to-5 doing exceptional work and you're starting to wonder if there's a way to take everything you know and build something that's yours. Wherever you are, I want you to understand this. The path from skills to income is shorter than you think. You don't even need a massive following. You don't need years building an audience before you can start to generate real income from your skills. And you certainly don't need anyone to give you permission to call yourself a coach. If you have skills that help people solve a problem they care about, you already have a coaching business. What you need is a clear offer. You need a price that reflects the value of the transformation that you provide. And you need the confidence to have a conversation. That's really all you need. Those three specific things. And here's the thing. I have seen women with less than 500 followers close contracts of $2,000 or more. They were able to close those clients because they were crystal clear. They were able to close those clients because they were confident and because they had an offer that solved something real. The size of your audience matters far less than the clarity of your offer. I spent years thinking I needed more views, more subscribers, more reach, but what I really needed was exactly what I'm getting ready to share with you. I created something called 2K in 2 hours, and it's exactly exactly what it sounds like. It's a micro course with 5 proven coaching offer templates designed to help you take your existing skills and package them into your first $2,000 coaching offer. Inside, there's a pricing cheat sheet, a complete onboarding workflow, and sales scripts so you know exactly what to say when somebody asks you about your offer. No more fumbling through discovery calls, no more underpricing because you weren't sure what to say, and no more stalling because you don't have a clear structure to present. These are the exact frameworks that I use to teach my clients inside of my Her Income Edit programs. And here's the thing that I want you to notice. You don't need a big platform. You don't need a massive email list. You need just one client to make the investment worthwhile 10 times over. 3 clients at $2,000 each, that's a $6,000 month. 5 clients, that's $10,000. The math always maths when the offer is clear. The link to enroll in 2K in 2 hours is down in the description. Gaining nearly 20 million views on YouTube taught me something that I couldn't have learned any other way. The platform is not the business. The audience is not the income. And reach, it means absolutely nothing without an offer behind it. Your skills are the asset. Your offer, that's the vehicle. And your ability to articulate the transformation that you create, that is the business. All right, y'all, that's it for this one. If you found this video helpful, let me know what your biggest takeaway is down in the comment section and share this video with a friend who might need it. I'll see y'all in the next one.